Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Wendy from Bake with Baker Bee. Here you can find fun, easy and scrumptiously delicious baking recipes. Today I'm going to share with you a traditional Christmas cake recipe, Yule Log Cake. Look at it. It is beautiful, isn't it? I'm having a Yule Log Cake as a dessert around Christmas time. This tradition that dates back to the 19th century in France. The cake represents the Yule log that families would burn starts on Christmas Eve. The burning of Yule log symbolized the new year to come and would bring good luck to the family. There is no bad time to make Christmas Yule log cake, but what better time than Christmas? So let's get started. Before we start, let's preheat the oven to 170 degrees Celsius. Step number 1. Make the chocolate cake. The pan here I'm using is a 9 by 15 inch sheet pan. If the size of your pan is very different from mine, you may consider to adjust the quantity of the ingredients proportionally because it will affect the thickness of the cake. Either may turn out too thin or too thick and it may affect the result. Alright, let's line the baking pan with sheets of parchment paper. If you want to learn how to line different baking pans without hassles, I have a tutorial for this. You can check it out. First, let's separate 6 egg whites and yolks. You need to be very careful in this step. Do not let any yolks drop into the whites. Even a tiny bit of yolks will affect beating the egg whites later. Let's have a look at the ingredients. Here I have the yolks and the whites that I separated them in the first step. Then we also need 60 grams of all-purpose flour, 30 grams of cocoa powder. In total, we will need 96 grams of custard sugar. I separate them into 64 grams and 32 grams portion, and a quarter teaspoon of sea salt. First, add 64 grams of custard sugar into the egg yolks and start to beat them until it is thickened and pale in color. Here I am using my handheld mixer with a whisk attachment. I just found it is easier to whip more air into the mixture because we don't use any raising agent in the recipe. So the more air in the mixture, the lighter, fluffier cake we will have. As you can see, the color and the texture of the egg yolk mixture is changing. The whole whisking process takes around 5 to 8 minutes. Now you can see how big difference the mixture has changed in terms of the color, the volume and the texture. When the mixture reaches this stage, we can stop whisking it and move on to the next step. Now let's add the dry ingredients into it. Get a sieve, sieve in the flour, cocoa powder and sea salt. Sieve everything in. You may find the cocoa powder is quite lumpy. Just get a spoon to press it through. Just like this. Get a spatula to mix the dry ingredients and the egg yolk mixture well gently. As you can see, I'm kind of between folding and mixing them together because I want to keep as much air as I can in the mixture. Lovely smell and color. Mixing, folding, and mixing. I'm so looking forward to this spongy, light and fluffy cake. Mixing and folding until there isn't any dry ingredients in the mixture. Just like this. Beautiful mixture, isn't it? Alright, let's get some help from my baking buddy to whisk the egg whites. Pour the egg whites into the grease-free mixing bowl with the whisk attachment. Start whisking them on medium speed until you see a layer of foam is formed. Just like this. Then add half teaspoon of white vinegar to help stabilize them during the whisking process. Whisk it for another 5 to 10 seconds before we add the custard sugar. Now it's time to add the 32 grams of custard sugars into 3 portions. Give a bit of time in between and let the sugar dissolve in the egg whites. After adding all the sugar, you can turn the mixer on medium-high speed. Continue to whisk the egg whites until stiff peaks. Now they have been whisking for a while. Okay, let's check, shall we? Use the whisk as a tool to dip inside the egg whites and pull it out. Can you see the tip is formed, but it is still soft, so we know that it is closed but not quite. All we need to do is to keep whisking for a little longer and check it again until the tip itself can stand up straight. Alright, I think we are there. Let's see how the tip is formed. Ta-da! Look at it! It is smooth and shiny, but more importantly, the tip can stand up straight itself. That means it is done. Chocolate cake mixture and egg whites are ready. Let's mix them together. First, scoop a small portion of the egg whites and mix into the cake mixture to loosen it a little bit. By doing this, it will be easier to mix the egg whites into it in the following step. As you can see, the mixture is a lot smoother now, just like a bowl of delicious melted chocolate. Now add 1/3 of egg whites into the mixture. Fold the egg whites into it gently. Try to keep the mixture as airy as we can. When most of the egg whites are folded into the cake mixture, then you can add the second third and continue to fold in until all the egg whites are folded into the cake mixture. I can say this is the most time-consuming step and needs our utmost patience, but I promise it's worth it. By gently folding the egg whites in, I can 100% to say that we will get a light and soft cake. Finally, it is ready. Pour the whole mixture into the prepared tin, once again, gently. Then use an offset spatula just like mine to smooth out the mixture in the pan evenly, because it will help the cake to be baked evenly in the oven, and we do want an even layer cake to roll after it is baked. When you are happy with the mixture, take it to the oven and bake it for around 9 to 10 minutes. It takes 9 minutes in my oven, or you can insert a stick into the center of the cake. When it comes out clean, that means it is done. When the cake is baking, let's get prepared for the next step. Lay a sheet of parchment paper on the surface and dust it with icing sugar. By doing this, it may help preventing the cake from sticking onto the parchment paper while we are unrolling it later. After 9 minutes, the cake is done. Place it next to the prepared parchment paper. Before we flip the cake, make sure there isn't any cake stick onto the baking pan. Flip it gently onto the prepared parchment paper because we don't want the icing sugar flying everywhere. Then carefully peel off the baked parchment paper. Now this is the fun part. Start from the short size, roll the warm cake with the icing sugar parchment paper tightly, just like this. Roll, roll, roll the cakes. When you reach the end, make sure the seam is facing downward. Then cool the cake completely on a wire rack. It looks very cute inside the parchment paper, just like a rolled towel. Step number 2, make the chocolate icing. Let's have a look at the ingredients. You will need 225 grams of unsalted butter, 180 grams of dark chocolate, 250 grams of icing sugar, a pinch of salt, and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Let's melt the chocolate first. I like using microwave. Of course, you can use double boiling method to melt it. Here, I heat the chocolate for 20 seconds each time in the microwave, then take it out and stir it thoroughly. As you can see, there isn't any change after the first heat. You just need to keep repeating the process for a few more rounds. After 4 heats, my chocolate is completely melted. Set it aside to cool down. Beat the butter using a stand mixer with the pedal attachment on medium speed for 2 to 3 minutes until it's pale in color and fluffy in texture. In between, stop the mixer once or twice to scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure every bit of butter is being beaten. After around 3 minutes, scrape down the sides of the bowl and the pedal attachment before we add the icing sugar in. I roughly add the icing sugar into 2 portions because it will be easier to mix everything well. Stop the mixer to scrape down the sides of the bowl and the pedal attachment as needed. As you can see, it is quite messy at the beginning when the butter and the icing sugar are not quite well mixed. So you just need to keep scraping down the sides of the bowl and mixing them. Eventually, they will become smooth icing. After mixing for another 5 minutes, the mixture looks a lot smoother. Let's keep mixing it for now, because the longer we mix, the lighter and fluffier icing we will have. Let's check on our chocolate. It is cool. Now add the salt into the vanilla extract first and mix them well. Then add the salted vanilla extract into the indulgent melted chocolate. Wow, it smells amazing. I'm trying very hard to not to eat it. As you can see the comparison, the texture has changed a lot. It is a lot lighter, so it's time to add the chocolate mixture to turn this icing into our delicious filling for the Yule Log. It looks like vanilla ice cream, doesn't it? Chocolate mixture in. Now all you need to do is to keep mixing them until everything is well mixed, until they become something like this. Yum! Step number 3. Fill the chocolate roll. The roll has been cooled down on a wire rack completely. It's time to fill it up with the yummy and smooth chocolate icing. Unroll the cake carefully and scoop a few generous blobs of icing onto the cake. Use an offset spatula just like this one. If you don't have this tool, get one. It is a great tool for icing the cake. Alright, back to the cake. Spread the icing as even as you can because we want every bite we'll have eat, don't we? Don't worry about the size or the end of the cake for now. I will show you how to handle them nicely later. Once you are happy with the icing, roll the cake back tightly into a log again, but without the parchment paper this time. When you roll it back, don't worry about the surface of the cake sticks onto the parchment paper because the log will be covered with the remaining icing. Place the log onto a clean sheet of parchment paper and wrap it well and refrigerate it for an hour to set. Step number 4. Decorate the Christmas Yule Log. You can decorate your Yule Log whatever you fancy. In my head, red and green are always associated with Christmas. Let's get some red fondant to create something red. First, knead the fondant into the right consistency, then get a little and roll each portion in your palm to create a small ball, just like a holly berry. Continue to create as many as you want. Now it's the time for the green. Here I have a few sprigs of fresh rosemary. Gently spray some water onto each sprig. While it is still wet, dip it into the caster sugar. It now looks like the snow falls on the branch, doesn't it? Let it dry a bit on a sheet of parchment paper. Continue to create as many as you need. This roll cake has been chilled in the fridge for an hour. Let's jazz it up into Christmas Yule Log, shall we? Get a sharp knife to trim one end to make it tidy first. Wow, look at the beautiful swirl. Just make me happy. Then cut the other end slightly at an angle. Place the long piece of the log on a serving plate, then place the short one at an angle to look like a branch coming off the big log. Spread the remaining icing onto the Yule Log. Use the offset spatula. Yes, this offset spatula again. It is my favorite too because it is very easy to control the amount of icing I need. Covering the cut off ends as well as the branch. As you can see, I'm using the top end of the spatula to create the 3 rings. Let's watch it again. Cover the end with enough amount of icing. Then use the top end of the spatula to drag the icing to create a pattern of the 3 rings. It doesn't need to look perfect because it is a log. We are almost there. Now we need to use a fork or a skewer to mark along the length of the log to create wood-like texture. And don't forget to use a kitchen towel to wipe the fork after every mark in order to create the clear lines. Once again, the lines don't need to be straight because we are creating a log. Haha, it really looks like a log, doesn't it? It's time for our green and red decorations. You can place them whenever you like. Red holly berries, green rosemary. It is very festive, isn't it? Last but not least, I think it is essential. Do it just before you serve. Dust it with icing sugar to create a freshly falling snow effect. How pretty is that? So that's it. I hope you can see it's a lot easier to make than it looks, and it's such a luxurious treat. I'm wondering who can resist a slice of log cake. Please like and share this recipe with your friends and family, and leave your comments down below to tell me what your favorite Christmas dessert is. I would love to hear that. Before you leave, my friends, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell next to it so that you won't miss any of my future videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!